Beautiful people, hello, welcome back. This is 108, episode 108. It's a lot of fucking episodes. I feel like I say that every episode, but I'm gonna keep saying it because there's a lot of fucking
I
episodes.
live at apartment 1108, like 1108.
Hey, that's the magic number, man. 1108. I feel like you were meant to say that. Guys, give me 1 second because I'm about to look this up actually. Hope you guys been well. It's been a week since we last spoke.
It's been way longer than a week since we last spoke.
Bro, I was peeping. I gotta do your red carpet, bro, because it's people who don't know you, and I want them to know exactly who you are. Guys, before I go into the angel numbers, welcome back, first and foremost. I hope you're well. Today I went took us a little spa date with myself. I tried this little infrared sauna, which is intense as hell. But
Infrared sauna?
yeah,
So is it like not steam, it's just like a light?
it's like a light. So it's not like, and I just found out about this yesterday, and I was like trying different stuff. So not like traditional sauna with the steam and stuff. It's just like little like these red little things, and like the thing that's coming out. If I don't know how to explain it, I'm new to this, but you don't. It's not as heavy as the traditional sauna, so you can last in there. So I was in there for 45 minutes, just drenched. So the purpose of it is just to remove the toxins out the body. So you're going deeper inside the tissues to get that crap up out of there. That's not an experience I would do once a month. I'll probably do it every other month because 45 minutes is a long time. You don't got to do it for the whole 45 minutes, but I feel like for your money's worth, you got to
How
do
did
it.
you hear
But
about that?
I had someone refer it to me because I've been just wanting to do some self-care shit, and it's like, so I've just been too on go mode recently, and they recommended that place to me, and it was amazing. They have this cryotherapy that I want to try too. I just
That'd be
want
a crazy combo, like doing like
bro, I
a
was thinking
sauna.
about that. I was thinking about that. But I chose the wrong day to do this, guys, because it was like 87 degrees here in Chicago. And so if you coming straight from the sauna outside, you sticky. You sticky. Hey, shout out. And if this is a smoking episode too, guys. So if you got something,
Oops.
come on, bro. This is a smoking episode. Join me and Phil.
You're gonna need it for this one.
Damn right. It's gonna be a good one. But no, I said I do want to try that cryotherapy because that I've seen it and it always caught my eye, and I'm gonna try that next month.
I used to do ice baths after my runs.
Yo, how are ice? I went to shout out to Denver by the way, because y'all got a hot spring out there, which is amazing. But it has an ice bath and a little sauna, little thing. But the ice bath, I lasted 5 seconds max, and I was out of there.
Yeah, there's that like initial like shock that your body gets sent into, but if you like kind of withstand that for like 30 seconds, then your body just goes numb and then you just like settle into it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely mental. It's obviously for your body, but it also for the mind too, because like it's like overcoming. I mean, have you heard of like Wim Hof? That guy.
No. Oh
So
wait.
that he's a dude from Iceland. I don't know if he's from Iceland, but he's known as the Iceman.
Does
And
he have a beard? A long beard?
yeah, he does the breathwork stuff. He made like the breathwork famous, but he does a lot of cold therapy stuff, and like he just tells you like whenever you can just just submerge yourself in ice. This was crazy. He's like in freezing temperatures, jumping in ice, just like jumping in the frozen water, just like fuck it. That shit's crazy.
I seen when I was in the UK this past winter, I was over by the seaside and I saw people surfing like and diving in the water. I'm like, it's cold. I'm in a big poofy coat. I'm like, damn, but like you said, it's meant to.
Yeah. I mean, some of it is genetic, but a lot of it's mental.
Shit, you gotta be genetic because I ain't doing that. But I do want to try it though. I probably wouldn't last long. But I've taken cold showers before, but that ice bath that's something different. But like you said, because it's no different than hot water. It's no different. Your body is adjusting to the temperature, and it's just,
Yeah.
but we just not used to taking cold showers. We just used to taking.
I mean, around the summer, I usually do cold showers because it's a lot easier because like it's hot. So like I'll do a cold shower. Like the first 5 minutes, I'll do like all the way cold just to like get that like, just like because it's it floods your body with like the
It'll pick you up too.
like anti-inflammatory, a lot of things.
Shout out to the cold showers, guys. If you don't know, guys, this is. I love how this episode is starting. I got to give you a red carpet, bro. I feel like I keep saying that, and then we go on the tantrum, guys. This is my guy Phil. For those who know, I consider him like the Gematria king on Twitter. To be honest with you, because this man is accurate and he just knows his shit. And I'm giving you flowers here right now. You do amazing work, bro. Sort of shit.
Even if other people don't think so, but thank you.
Yeah, this all perspective, man. Good.
Exactly.
Perspective. But for those who don't know about you, just let us know who you are, what you got going on.
Well, my name is Phil. I mean, last time I kind of explained that I've been through all these different scenes. I was in the gaming scene, the music scene, and like all these different things that like I could have made my like passion in my life. I did have passions in both and everything I've like done, but like I've been through all these different scenes, and I never like dove into something fully. And so like, but I think inside my inner knowing, I knew I had like a calling or like a path, but I didn't, it wasn't my time for whatever I was doing. So like
Mm.
I like in like 2015, I was like heavy in the gaming scene. And it's like I built my following on social media from like this gaming scene and like, Call of Duty, whatever. And just like fun,
Did you ever play
competitive Call of
zombies?
Duty. Huh?
You ever play zombies?
Dude, hell yeah. Like I was like friends with all these like pro gamers and all this stuff. And then like I wanted to like get into videography. That's what I initially wanted to do. And then like that didn't work out. Like, and then like I started going to these like music shows, like the rave scene. And then I like built a little following over there too. And like I had all these like followers on Twitter, but like I wasn't doing anything yet. Like, but I was just like I was building a name off of just my, I guess, likeness. I don't know. Like it was just like my, I guess, straight personality. And
Mm.
I was really good at networking and just getting to know people and getting to like talk to people on like a human level. And like that was like my key to like, my networking is like I knew all these people, and people would always ask me like, how do you know all these people? Like, what do you do? And I was like, and I would tell them like I don't I don't really do anything. I'm just being me. Like I'm not
Mm.
like I didn't have anything to like show for yet, even though like now now I have the perspective to be like, well, I had like an amazing awareness then, and I had the ability to network. And so like I had all these like big people with like millions of followers that were following me, and people would be like, what, how the heck do you know them? And I just like, I just got to know them like online, and then I would go to the events and meet them in person, and we'd be friends and like shit like that. But
It's real.
basically like I went to these different scenes, and then now like we're all going through this awakening process. And like now I'm realizing that like this is my calling. I'm supposed to be assisting with this huge shift in consciousness.
Mm.
And like I I'm still trying to struggle to find like exactly my path. Like I'm like, I know last time I was on, I'm like, oh, I'm starting my podcast, but like shit happens, personal life. Like I'm just like working on I had to make sure my head was right first.
Big
And
fact.
I went through like, right, I mean, like in that period of time since we last talked, like, bro, it's been probably almost not a whole year. It's probably been a couple months. You know how long it's been?
It was that was episode. Oh shit, I wrote this down. Hold on. It was like episode motherfucking I want to say 40.
Damn, that's crazy. You've had
No,
like,
episode 64. My bad. 64.
that's 40 episodes ago.
God damn.
More than that. But yeah, man. I've just been Going through my own shift internally, everyone's going through that, but
How's
I
your?
mean,
I'm sorry, no, go.
you're good. Like, um, like in that time, like, I've just been really just like transforming internally, and I really like feel like now that like, you know, uh, I'm like vibrating with potential right now. I just feel like, all right, now's that time. Now's the time where I gotta start like striking. I gotta actually like, take some action because like a lot of the stuff. My biggest problem is like we all hold ourselves back. It's all that mind like creating a prison for ourselves, like
Making shit different.
that's limiting beliefs and like
Yeah.
this duality realm where we give into like the fear. We choose fear instead of like and that it's a trip when you have the awareness to know that like that's what you're like. I've known I'm doing this to
Bullshit.
myself for years, but you still like you just keep on this loop and
And you know it.
it.
You know
Yeah, it's the weirdest part is when you know it and then you just can't like quite but I think it's just a timing thing because I think for me I'm learning to just accept the timing of things because
Yeah.
the hindsight's 2020 when you finally look back and you finally look back on it all and you go, wow, it all happened like the way it was supposed, like it all happened like exactly. It was just your like your journey, and you just have to learn to love the journey. And that's my biggest like problem is like I'm always like I'm such a like perfectionist in my mind because I know I have so much potential that like I'm afraid to like show that weakness and like be vulnerable and then like fuck up or something, and then like
I fuck up
I feel
all
like
the
I hold myself back. That's all it is. But yeah, dude. I've just been. I mean, you probably see. I don't shut up on the timeline every day. Every day, some bullshit's happening. I'm still decoding away. Um, and a lot of that, a lot of like, I guess people in the quote unquote like conscious community, they would see me as a Gematria account because like perspective wise, if you go to my account for the past 2 years, whatever, that's like kind of been the focus for the past couple of years because that's. But if you went back like another year, it'd be all music, and then you go back another year, it'd be like all some like I've changed over my years on Twitter. Yeah, I've evolved, and like um you know coming across like this knowledge of like this numerical code that's kind of like hidden in plain sight, and coming across that, and at the time that I did, it was just such a massive, like it felt like I was like in the dark and like I bumped into this massive like thing, and I'm just like, you can't ignore it.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I just stumbled upon something that like, wait, it was there the whole time and I didn't notice this. Like how it's so like simple, and like that's why it's like that's why it's so easy to hide in plain sight because it's
Yeah.
just literally
Don't
just
even think about it like that.
yeah. So the reason that like my like filter, my lens, I use the lens of gematria a lot. I call it that because you know it's just something to filter like things through.
Yeah.
So like when a lot of people see a current event and they first react with their emotions, they like react first.
Yeah.
My first instinct now has turned to, hey, before I give this my energy, let me see what's up. Let me see what like alphanumerical things could be hidden in here, because a lot of time, I mean, I guess before I get into that, I guess I kind of explain for anyone new watching, it's been like 40 something episodes, but if you go on my timeline on Twitter, fill these, you'll see all these random posts where you have these words, and then next to it you'll see all these numbers. And a lot of people, for someone who is just stumbling across like a gematria decode, they're just like, what the fuck is this? What is this? Because it just looks like nonsense if you just look at it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But basically what it is, gematria is it comes from Jewish mysticism, like Kabbalah, where it was a coding of letters and numbers, because in the like book of formation, like it says like God created the universe with letters and numbers. He spoke it into existence. Um, and it kind of comes from that, where everything is like, numbers is like the DNA of like the universe, numbers is all there. You look at nature and you see these beautiful perfect ratios and everything, and you break that down in numbers, and it's all just like math, just like hidden in our face, like, so gematria is the alphanumerical coding of letters and numbers. So like for example, our English alphabet, 26 letters. A is 1, B is 2, 3 is C, and there's a whole bunch of different ciphers that you calculate, that you calculate gematria in. So there's like the 4 base ones, which would be English ordinal, which is A is 1, B is 2, all the way to Z, which is 26. Then there's the reverse of that, which is Z is 1, Y is 2, all the way down to A is 26. And then there's reduction, or Pythagorean, which is like Pythagoras. But reduction gematria is you reduce the numbers to one number. So like J is the 10th letter in the alphabet. So 1 plus 0 is 1. So J would be 1. So there's like different ways to calculate. And it gives you like a different sum. So when there's all these different ciphers,
Jesus.
and two words match, it's basically telling you that these two words have the same vibration, because everything is energy, and these words, they carry a vibration.
That's crazy.
They're like actually like carrying vibrations. So these the people who are essentially running our world behind the scenes, they know this information, and they're not telling us. Obviously, they're not letting us in on that secret, but behind the scenes they are planning and coding these events, so that they kind of unfold by this code. And so when I stumbled across this, I think it was around 2020, right? Oh, it was Kobe's death. That's when I stumbled across this, because it was right before COVID, and when that popped off, it was like, it was such a big like thing, like it was like, okay, there's always been things like, as we've grown up, that were these big events. We've had, like, when we were younger, it was like 9/11. This, like, there's always those major events that happen that like everyone reacts to, right?
Yeah.
So like when that happened, I knew that like something was up, and I was just like, immediately, just that intuitive feeling. And I don't know exactly how, but I came across this dude's videos. He's probably like the people call like the godfather of like gematria, as far as like modern, like when people came across his YouTube content, would be like Zach Hubbard. But he's like free to find truth on Twitter and like YouTube. But he has been doing it for like 8 years, and he was like one of the first people to like start talking about it on like YouTube and things. And like he's been like just kind of making it popular, popularizing it, as far as like our our generation. Because this has been around. This predates English, because this comes from like the Hebrew alphabet, which is the 22 letter Hebrew alphabet. So the people who are running our essentially world, they are the ones that imposed our English alphabet over to make it like the language of the world. English is essentially like the world language right now. It's like majority of the world at least knows English.
Yeah.
So that was on purpose, because our 26 letter alphabet is heavily coded. And that's such a deep question, like,
Yeah.
how could that be, like, and I'll probably get to that later, like as far as my theories and that kind of stuff, but for now I'm just kind of explaining it. But so yeah, I think around that time when Kobe had died, I came across his channel, and he was breaking down like the numerology of the event, and he was using this calculator. He uses this calculator this website called Gematria, and it's a website that you can go to, and it's like a calculator that you type in a word, and then it gives you all the ciphers what it equals, and then you can also calculate dates. You can go to the date calculator and type in this date to this date, and it'll give you the span of time. And it also tells you the date numerologies. So when you add up the day, like today is what's today's date? 5/20, 2020. So you add up 5/20/2020, and that gives you one thing. And then you could add it up different ways. You could add up 5 + 2 + 0 + 2 plus, there's like different ways to add up the date, and that gives you like different numbers. So these people who are running our world, they've imposed a language on the world, and they're also the ones who gave us our calendar, the Gregorian calendar. So they're kind of the ones who set the game board, and we're all just playing on their game board. We're all just accepting it. Like we just accept this calendar. We just accept this language. We don't, what I mean? We think in English, like we, what I mean? It's to the level where like it's like the way we express ourselves in these bodies,
Yeah.
So so through this language, they code events by like the date, like it's on the calendar, and also like the words in the event. So like a good example is like September 11th, 9/11/2001. 911, everyone there's that number 911, right?
Yeah.
And you would think like, what's the significance of that number? Like, oh, that's just the emergency dial tone number, right? Oh, that's all that was. It's an emergency. Like, they were just trying to make it like, they're like, I don't know like how you rationalize that. Like,
Yeah.
But these people who are running our world behind the scenes, they are worshiping like these different gods. So like a lot of it's like Saturn worship. Have you heard that before?
Yeah.
Like worshiping Saturn, like celebrities worshiping Saturn, whatever. So Saturn is, throughout like different mythologies, is known as like, or like Kronos Saturn. He's like the ruler of time and like the material world, like matter.
Mm-hmm.
So he's the one that deals with time, and these are the people that give us the calendar and all this stuff. So they're like, a lot of this is Saturn worship. So have you heard of the black cube of Saturn? Have you heard that before? So if you look at like Saturn, you have that hexagon shape, but it also can be seen as a cube. And if you look at a cube across, it looks like IXXI. Like if you like go type in like Saturn, black cube of Saturn or whatever, and type in like IXXI, and it'll probably give you like a visual. But that's essentially 9/11. Like if you look at the Saturn cube sideways, it'll give you an IXXI, and that's 911. That's like it's like a secret, it's like a encoded 9/11 in this like Saturn cube, but it's kind of like their nod to Saturn. So like in that, so and a lot of the stuff that the people that everyone's kind of heard of the Illuminati, the Illuminati triangle. Like, oh, it's to the point where there's like Netflix shows, like that show like what's it called, Inside Job, where it's just mocking all.
I low key love that show. That show is funny as hell. What it does.
I haven't even watched it, but you know what I mean? It's to the point where it's that out there where they're literally mocking.
Maybe it's always been out there, but
it has, like it's been on the dollar for how long? But
who still don't know. But
and that's like the part that I have to like remind myself often, is like everyone's at different points in their journey, and there's always people being born, there's always some new person, you know what I mean? So like whereas like someone who already knows something. There's someone who's just now, just now having the thought of something's wrong. You know what I mean? Like something's off in the world. And like that's something that I struggle with because it's so hard because I'm just like, how do you not see it? Like,
We couldn't see
but
it on the time, though.
ah.
About the whole news theaters, like that whole act and the crisis actors and CGI, and I ain't know about any of that.
Dude, there's so many events. That's the hard part about it is like when you finally, if you actually took the time to sit down and just analyze anything the news told you, because these people, this behind the scenes group, they own, all these companies, they own the world. It's the world bankers. It's literally all in tandem. It's like it, because it's hard to say who they are at all. It's not one person. It's different groups. There's banks in London, banks in Sweden. There's these like the black nobility families out of like Italy, and like that's like all like the old Roman Empire families. That's what that is. And then there's like the Vatican. Then you have like the Jesuits under the Vatican. Then you have like then you have like the different Freemason groups, and you have like Skull and Bones over here. Then you have like they are themselves compartmentalized. It's such a like genius. It's evilly genius. It's such a like evil genius thing because like they keep it all so compartmentalized to where someone's always answering to someone. And so not everyone knows the whole piece, so that's why it's so difficult to say who it is, because it's all you have to do is know that you're being deceived. Like people always want to say like, well, who are they? It's like, don't even worry about that. Just know just admit that you're being like deceived and lied to. That's the first step, because like I could sit here for literally days probably and breaking down every news event, and it would all be pointing to the same groups of people. But all it takes is you to see it one time. Like any decode, it can be that one person's one thing, to just see it and go, whoa, you know what I mean? That's crazy. And so I feel like once people at least can understand that the world that they're just existing in and not questioning, it's operating. It's like a casino. You go to a casino and you understand, when you step into a casino, you understand that the house has an advantage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you ask the average person, like is this world like stacked against them, or you know what I mean, or is the house against me, or like they would probably say like, no, everyone's got it, like everyone's got it pretty. Everyone has like at least a chance, right? But like people at least don't even admit that they're being deceived. Like they think they trust authority. Well, the average person would trust authority and think that the news is informing them, that their politicians are in their best interest, that they're when they go to the hospital.
Ask yourself though, who created the news? Where did it come from? What's the purpose of it? It's like, why when you really question that?
And
why is it there?
And I think it just takes 5 minutes to stop and ask one question. Why? Like where? Like it really just takes. But the thing is, they're always bombarding. That's like the key to their thing is they're just, they want you obsessed with the timeline. They want you just eating up the next story. They're like shortening our attention spans. It's been a long play, and like you can trace this back because like the word conspiracy just means conspire, just means to work together to do something. That's all that word means. Conspiring just means, hey, me and you, we're gonna not tell this person that we're gonna do this together to get an advantage over them. That's what conspiring means, like in our daily lives, we hate being lied to. Like if like your best friend lied to you, you're so pissed at this person because they lied to you. You're not talking to this person, you're not trusting that person ever again because they lied to you. Why can't like people realize that, like, their favorite, you know, artist is sold out to the system.
Look,
And
once you found out that Santa Claus wasn't real, that should have everything.
this world is a lie. Like
All bets are off at that point. I was crushed when I found out wrestling was fake. I was like, if this shit fake, then nah, something ain't adding up. Yeah.
dude, and like wrestling is like is one of the major things that like, I mean, I could sit here and break down the news, break down sports, break down like music, break down. It's all
Sports wild though. I ain't gonna stunt. I have seen you post a couple of shit, and it's low key been. I haven't been really feeling like watching basketball because I'm damn, this shit just. Damn.
dude. I gotta show you some people on Instagram. Some of my friends, they do like a lot of like the like my friend just released a book actually. Is my friend Andreas, his Instagram is ball don't lie, BAALDONLIE, but he released a book called Wordplay where it's all based on sports, and it's all Gematria decodes on sports. So he just breaks down the way that they you know, all these rituals. A lot of them are a lot of them are biblical. You know, it's so if you were to imagine like a pyramid, you know, the pyramid that was, you know, the superiority system of, you know, these secret societies behind the scenes, towards the top you get like the Roman Catholic Church, you know, Rome, the Roman Empire. Because you know, the Roman Empire, they basically were calling, I had the whole world in their pocket at one point, you know. And then the Roman Empire, our books would tell us that the Roman Empire fell, right? And then you know, but really it just kind of rebranded, kind of shifted into the, you know, the church, and it became the holy, they became like the Holy Roman Empire. Then all of a sudden they were like, just, it was all about the church, and then it was just all, you know, those bloodlines that lived on through that, they like the Templars, you know, like the ones who were doing it for, you know, for God. Yeah, but they were really just, they were essentially just the ones who gathered all the information and had all the knowledge, and they were the ones trying to play God. They were the ones trying to, you know,
That's crazy though.
they were the ones trying to essentially, you know, take over our our little space here.
Like
So
how they want to have it. That's wild.
yeah, so like throughout history, it's been these same groups like worshiping these same gods, these same deities, like you know, like Saturn worship, like Baal, you know, the sacrifice, like you know, the owl god thing, that or the bull. You know, like Drake's logo is the owl, like
Oh,
the
man.
OVOO. Um, and that has ties to like, you know, Egypt, and like it's so deep, dude. All that symbolism is so deep. Like, and that's the crazy part is when you start going back, it just goes farther and farther and farther and farther and farther. And like it's these same groups of people though. But so I was saying is the like the Roman Catholic Church, that they've basically, you know, they put on this front of, oh no, we're just we're the ones who talk to God, you know, we're the ones who, the Pope says, like, he's like, you know, essentially you come through the Pope if you want to go to heaven. Like you have to come through the church, right? Like that's kind of how it is. Like he's the Godfather. And so like all these like the Jesuit order under the Pope, they've infiltrated all of these world governments. They you know, they elude them from the inside. They're all, this is like spies. They're just basically like spies. They're just like infiltrating. But you know, they, once they're in a place of power, then now that person in power, like say like our governors, there a lot of our, if you notice, like a lot of our colleges, like Georgetown, Loyola Marymount, they're all Jesuit schools.
Oh,
And they're all like colleges that are of the church. They're like they're Jesuit owned. That's just, that's what they're called. And so like a lot of our like presidents, a lot of our like political leaders, they all go through these schools and they all kind of come out like essentially sellouts to that system. And so when they when they get in these positions of power, like they're essentially, you know, bought out at that point, and they're basically just, you know, doing the bidding. They're not there to look out for your interests. They're there to do the bidding of someone else. They're so like you wonder why our political system doesn't get anywhere. You know, we go left to right, to left, back to the right, and you know, oh, next time they're gonna get it right. Oh, next time they're gonna get it right. But people fail to realize that, you know, they're both two wings of the same bird. It's the left and the right. They're both on the same team. They're both in the same club. You're not in it, you know, and they're like, even like these world leaders, like, you know, there's supposedly a war going on in you know, Russia, but
There ain't no war going on with me.
um actually, speaking of that, that was probably like one of the first big things I was going to talk about as far as like the recent events that have happened like in the past since we've talked.
Yo,
You know, there was the coronavirus, there was the fear from that,
no,
it died down.
yeah.
The next year came around, then we had the George Floyd riot, the George Floyd event happened, and then there was the whole riots thing. No one was afraid of COVID then, it died down, you know, and then
It
the next year,
disappeared.
then now the next year comes back around and we had the COVID scare again. We had Omicron. We had that Omicron.
Yeah, I forgot about Marion. I forgot about
Omarion, yeah. Which the funny thing is, it went COVID, then it was Delta, right?
yeah,
Delta variant,
yeah.
and then Omicron.
Those three.
But if you look at the Greek alphabet,
Mhm.
you know, they skipped letters. They went from Delta to Omicron, and um
Mhm.
right, and you think, okay, they just named it something different, right? But do you have that Gematria to pulled up?
Um,
So if you type in Delta and Omicron, so type in Delta space Omicron, it'll give you certain numbers. And then if you also type in mind control, Delta, Omicron, and mind control are a perfect match. They're the same exact letters. So in naming these variants for this disease, they named it the Delta variant, and they named it, you know, the Omicron variant. And do you have it pulled up?
mhm.
So if we type in, would you type in Delta Omicron?
Yeah, Delta Omicron. Yeah.
And if you press enter, it'll save it on the bottom. Like if you press Delta Omicron, and it'll pop up at the bottom.
Yeah, I see that.
And then if you type in mind control, or sorry, media control,
Media.
which, you know, these people own the media. I saw this, you know, there's a TikTok I saw where it like showed some dude breaking down. It was the same letters. It's basically those two phrases, Delta Omicron and media control, are the exact same letters. So those two phrases are the exact same vibration. So that's like, that's like the mockery of, you know, they're mocking us in our face with that kind of stuff. So, and also Omicron is a what's it called? Anagram for moronic.
Shit, hey, with this, y'all better not believe this monkeypox shit. I don't want to hear nothing. If nothing.
I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to that. Trust me. So, you know, there was the Omicron, the, you know, Omicron scare for that took over this year, it took over year two. And then now in that part of the year where it kind of dies down, you know, how it kind of had that rise and fall. It was COVID, then it was the fall, no one was living in it, then it was George Floyd, and then it was the Omicron, the variants, then it was fear again, then it died down. Then we had
I forgot.
shit. Was this like, oh yeah, 'cause now we're back here again. Got the Omicron thing, and now we got World War III on looming on.
Oh,
Whatever
yeah,
that. Yeah, sorry, that's what I'm getting at. You know, it was subsiding again, and there was no one was afraid of COVID right now. It was, no one's talking about it. Everyone's back to their life living again.
yeah.
And then what do they hit us with? Russia's invading Ukraine, and Russia invaded Ukraine. So you know how we've had multiple world wars. We had World War I, we had World War II, but the days that these wars broke out. So if you Google like what day did World War I begin, what day did World War II begin, the day that Putin invaded Ukraine had the exact same date numerology as the previous two world wars. So I mean, I wish I had a thing I wish I could link you these. I mean, I could right now, but these posts that it just broke down 3 dates. So you know, there were so many events that happened when that Ukraine thing broke out, that like right when it broke out, you just know that it's contrived or fake. You look at the president of Ukraine, he's literally an actor. He's literally did you know that? Like the president of Ukraine, what is an actor? Get this. I'm going to tell you this, you don't know this yet. I guess you didn't, or were unaware of this. He is an actor who played in a show where he ran for president as a civilian. He wins the presidency.
No way. No way.
And then in real life, this man runs for presidency, makes his own political party, the same as the political party in that show. He creates his own political party in his country and wins the presidency.
This is a joke.
And then Russia decides to invade Ukraine. Like all those events laid out, it's hilarious. So if you were to Google right now, the Russian coat of arms, it'll give you a photo, and this is like the Russian coat of arms. It's like one of the Russian flags, and it gives you 2 eagles, two double-headed. It's one double-headed eagle.
We said the Russian coat of arms.
Yeah, which is the same as if you look up Ordo ab Chao, which means order out of chaos. That's like a Mason. It comes from Scottish Rite Freemasonry, where they use that double-headed I think it's a phoenix, double-headed eagle. I don't know.
Like a phoenix.
But it's the same. So basically telling you that Russia is Freemasonic as fuck. So the day Vladimir Putin invaded Ukraine, he had the exact his age was the exact same numerology as if you type in World War III. So if you went to the calculator and type in World War I, and it gives you let me type in what this because I forget real quick. Let me type this in. Type it in right here. World War III. So type it right there. World War III, it gives you 141 and 69. So Vladimir Putin, on the day that he invaded Ukraine, was 69 years and 141 days old. Would you believe that? Like that, like the exact precision of that?
Damn.
He was you could look it up, and I'm gonna link you the post right now. But he was 69 years and 141 days old when he invaded Ukraine. So like those are the kinds of numerical synchronicities that that are happening behind the scenes that go right over our head. Like people just completely miss that kind of stuff. So I don't know if you saw the Ukrainian soldiers that had that Black Sun Nazi insignias on their uniforms. So like there's like a specific like group of the Ukrainian army that they were being shown in the media having the black sun, Schwarzsonne, Nazi symbol on their chest, which is that symbol is it means a lot, but it's essentially the black sun. It means black sun, but um, you know, that's the kind of mind games that they play. Is you know they have the Ukrainian soldiers wearing the Nazi symbolism, the cognitive dissonance that sets in people's minds, like they can't even comprehend that. Like they're supporting Ukraine. Oh, we have to, save Ukraine, whatever that means. um and then they don't realize that they're supporting like that like Nazi symbolism, you know what I mean? It's like right in their face. And what I was, you know that symbol, it can be seen as like a lot of this stuff is like energy harvesting.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So like that symbol, it could be a symbol of that. It's like a symbol of like harvesting energy from the sun. What were three? Oh, dude, there was literally fake guns. Did you ever see that?
I did think that. I did think that.
I was laughing so hard at that
The
shit. There's
props.
literally like prop guns in the news, like the Ukrainian soldiers like holding fake guns.
Like,
One of the dudes like fake fucking.
but the real question is though, in a serious situation right there, like that, why is a camera person in the midst of it?
Dude, there's been so many things. We had like Bono visiting Ukraine to like, do a concert in like a fucking subway. Eh, Dude, like there's so many like Nancy Pelosi is going to visit the fucking president of Ukraine in her high heels. Like there's so many like hilarious things every day that like
Story.
there's so many things that I'm like boggling my mind to like remember them right now, because like there's just been so many. And that's like a part of their tactic is they bombard us with so many things that they don't want to give you the chance to like stop and like
Think.
see the whole picture, because it's so much getting thrown at us. And people just don't, they want you dumbed down. You have to realize that they want you to the point where you're just focused on entertainment, you're just focused on sports, you're just focused on you
Wow.
know um consumerism, just buying that next thing. They don't want you creating, they don't want you thinking, they don't want you. Our school system is like, it's dumbing us down. It was indoctrination. It's a system. It's like being going through prison.
Facts. Like freaking as soon as you start school.
Dude. And so, we had talking about like energy and energy harvesting. How we just had the fucking lunar eclipse. Dude, lunar eclipse happens the week of the only Friday the 13th of this year. Jason Voorhees, right? That character.
Yeah.
Get this. If you go on Google and look up his birthday, it'll give you something 1946. But Jason Voorhees was 911 months old on Friday the 13th this year.
Crazy.
Now, guess who else was 911 months old that same week? Donald J. Trump. Now he's connected, to like Israel. Israel also had their anniversary the same week. So all these major things happening the week of this lunar eclipse. We had all these mass shootings. How many mass shootings did we have last 2 weeks?
Shit, a lot.
Bro, like I'm gonna just pull them up on my Twitter real quick, so I can go off of some of these posts here, because holy shit. Like that mass shooting in Buffalo, right? Like the tops, like there was 13 people that were shot that day. It was And Friday the 13th, you had 10 shot and 3 of them died. And it was, but the news posted that, 13. That, the zero essentially doesn't count in numerology. So it was that 1-3 was plastered everywhere that day. And I'm trying to pull this up real quick. Let me see. But there was a shooting in Buffalo. There was a shooting in Cali. There was a shooting in Cali at this church, and like all these events were just super coded. I have to pull these up. Let me see. And there's always nods to the church and all these events, and there's always these like Kobe Bryant's numbers always come up in all these events. It's pretty wild. It's like there's so much stuff. It's really hard sometimes to like be like, hey, look at this one.
It's back to back to back.
I know. I wish I could like actually like show my screen. That'd be awesome. I need to figure that out next time. So I don't know if you're aware, how we had that solar eclipse in 2017 that went across the country.
Mm-hmm.
So it made a line across the country in 2017. We had a solar eclipse, and all these major rituals, they're paying homage to these eclipses. A lot of them are linked to the eclipse. It's like an eclipse code. So in 2024, there's going to be another solar eclipse. So the one eclipse in 2017 made a slash across the US, and in 2024 there's going to be another eclipse that makes an X across the United States. So it's going to make an X shape across the United States in 2024. So it's basically going to complete the X, you know what I mean? Because in 2017, it went across like this, and then 2024, it's going to make the X. So think about the events that have happened within that time span, like Donald Trump became president, and it was all the chaos of, Trump's, the orange man. It was all about hating the red. It was all about hating red man, and everyone just hated the Republicans. And then, Biden, he's not red. Let's go for Biden,
Biden old ass. Look. Fuck it. I hope whoever voted for Biden know that y'all fucked up. Y'all.
And the thing is, there's also, that's also another way to look at it. Is another perspective is, believing in the system as a whole. Like we need to ditch the belief in that, and in the political system as a whole, because it's just not. People think that voting is going to do something, and that's the mind fuck. That's a part of the deception. Is every time you keep believing that your vote is going to change something, you're believing in their system. Therefore, you're already at a loss. So what I was going to get to is back to the lunar eclipse thing and the Friday the 13th. I brought up my tweet. So the Knights Templar was created in 1118. Now, most people don't know this, but Friday the 13th comes from the Knights Templar. Did you know that?
Mm-mm.
So the story is that in 1118, 1118, the Knights Templar, they were created, and in 1307, October 13th, 1307, hundreds of Templars, including the Grand Master Jacques de Molay, were arrested in France and interrogated for crimes of heresy. So basically at the time, the Knights Templar had all the money, the power, but they had the world's monarchs and the world's kings and queens under kind of their power, because they had so much wealth, and they had so much they had a lot of power, and they had the king at the time was in their debt. So the Pope. So King Philip IV and Pope Clement V, they in tandem, they gathered up all the Knights Templar, and they arrested them for heresy, and they were essentially all like killed. And so that was Friday the 13th. That's where that comes from. So this you know, this shooting on that day, you know, comes 30 weeks and 3 days after the anniversary of the arresting of the Knights Templar, you know, which was the reason for the Friday the 13th. And then I told you that Jason Voorhees turned 9/11 on Friday the 13th. You know, that's just another, it's just so many things. And in Gematria, eclipse equals 33. So there's always that 33 code. So if you see a 33, it's like a nod to the eclipse as well. So, you know, these events, it's like these dates on the calendar are kind of like these like totems, where like they code things that this event happens, and then, you know, weeks down the road, months down the road, the next event happens, and then, you know, it has like a coded period of time, like 30 weeks and 3 days. So that'd be 33. So that carries that vibration of, you know, 33. So like it's all by this numerical code. It's a Kabbalistic numerical code that they do everything by. You know, because they're using our creative, they're harnessing our creative energy, our power. You know, when they use it, when they're harnessing our energy through these rituals, they're actually using our creative power to manifest these events. That's kind of why the predictive programming, you know, these Netflix shows, all these things, they're like priming the brain of people, their subconscious. You know, it's putting all these events in their mind, so that, you know, when it comes up, you know, they're already like,
it's not a surprise. It's like,
yeah. And it's so sick that like that you can go back and like I can show you decodes from like 40 years before 9/11. Like there's events, you know, like like George Bush graduated his class at Yale in 1968. Guess how many people graduated in his class? 911 people graduated in his graduating class. And the World Trade Center started being built the same year that he graduated from Yale in 1968.
Damn.
And also that same year, the Jets won the Super Bowl. The Jets' only Super Bowl was in 1969, I think it was. The Jets. Do you get the joke there?
Yeah.
That supposedly two planes, you know, crashed into. You know.
That's crazy.
So, one of the big numbers that comes up a lot is, you know, 222. There's the repeating numbers 111, 222. Da, da, da. You know, everyone talks about angel numbers. Everyone knows that these numbers have power, but we don't want to admit that someone can abuse these numbers, you know, negatively. You know, everything has duality to it. They use these same numbers in different ways. So in Gematria, 222 sums to so many things, but one of the major ones is order out of chaos. So, you know, that's their tactic, order out of chaos, ordo ab chao in Latin. So order out of chaos means, you know, they create the chaos. They already have the predetermined, you know, outcome planned, and then they, you know, introduce the solution, problem, reaction, solution. So, you know, we get hit by a plane. Oh no, we're attacked. We have to go to war, you know, and then it justifies the reaction, you know, and their whole goal was to, you know, decentralize these you know, Middle Eastern countries. They want to take their resources. They want to topple these independent. They're playing risk, you know, they're taking over the world in secret while we're not even realizing it. Yeah. So 9/11, 2001 happens. 222 months later, coronavirus happens. So that's the next major event. So we went from 9/11 and we had this time of, there wasn't really that, those major, events. It was, like when Obama was in presidency, we were kind of lulled. We were kind of lulled by they were showing us this piece, when Obama was president, there was the illusion of everything was all right, right? It was, oh, we have hope now. Obama's in presidency,
Yeah.
and then what happens is we get Trump, then the chaos starts, So we had that solar eclipse, then we had Trump in presidency. The chaos is bubbling, everyone's starting to just be angry at the machine again. And that's what they want. They want you mad at their puppets, because if you give them their energy, that's they got you.
Yeah.
So Trump's in presidency, and then all of a sudden we got coronavirus happens 222 months later after 9/11. So coronavirus happened on March 11th, 2020. That was the day that the World Health Organization declared the coronavirus a pandemic on 3/11. Now, in Gematria, that number 3/11 is used a lot as the number of deception. So there's so many words in Gematria that equal 113. So like bullshit, disinformation, all these different words that are basically different synonyms for lying and just complete just falseness is 113. So that number, they use that number 113 as the number of deception. So our election was on November 3rd, the election that Trump won, or that Biden won, and supposedly Biden got 81 million votes. No, he didn't. 81 million people did not vote for that man. So 81 equals ritual. So ritual is 81. So it's all like this code, So 3/11 was the day that the pandemic was declared. So I knew right away that that was BS. That was.
Yeah, I felt that was BS immediately.
So it's crazy that they call their shots, the predictive programming type stuff. There was a coronavirus tabletop simulation.
Yeah,
So,
I saw that.
So
fuck.
there was one called CladeX. There was multiple. There was actually two. There was one called CladeX, where it was a tabletop simulation where they simulated a coronavirus pandemic, and they basically have the simulated news, and it's a whole simulated scenario of a pandemic and what they would do if it happened, right?
Mhm.
So this happened on what day was the CladeX one? I'm gonna pull it up quick because I just did a decode today actually. Let me see. The CladeX simulation pandemic for the coronavirus pandemic was on May 15th, 2018. Now, 666 days later, March 11th, 2020. So, like, you see how they do that? They ran the simulation. 666 days later, they declared the pandemic. Now, they also had Event 201, which was another one put on by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Johns Hopkins, the World Economic Forum. That's a lot.
That fucker is producing fucking breast milk.
He warned about they warn people to stop breastfeeding or whatever, and then they tell you, oh, we've created new.
What?
I saw a thing today that was saying they're creating machines to get rid of carbon dioxide in the air. Plant some trees. Like, I don't know.
That's how you do it. Oh fuck! Don't even get me started on that.
So
when did Bill Gates become the world humanitarian? He knows what's best.
so and it's also funny because what did he do in the 90s? He was a computer guy, right? And he
Mm-hmm.
was known for his for virus protection, like virus.
Now,
The viruses. Microsoft computers were synonymous with viruses.
that
Do you
makes
get?
my point even. That makes my point even better. What?
So, oh, and also fucking his full name is William Henry Gates. That equals
Okay.
William Henry Gates is his full name. That equals 222. Just like Wuhan coronavirus equals 222, which happened 222 months after 9/11.
Hey,
And the first case of coronavirus happened in Wuhan the same day as the military world games in Wuhan, China. These are all military world game. These are all world military games. So these happen the same day. Like all these things happen like by coincidence on the same days. You know what I mean? No, it's not coincidence.
I know coincidences in this shit.
Yeah. So 3/11 was that day. That was the day the coronavirus pandemic happened. So all these different events, they like totem them together. They like weave them along in time, and they kind of like go along in this pattern. And we're just unaware that there's that planning. Now that next event, do you see me ever talking about like the Golden Gate Bridge thing or like
No,
that?
I haven't seen.
So it's a lot of these references to the Bible, a lot of these events make references to the Bible. So in Revelations 8:11, if you read that Bible verse, it says Revelations 8:11, the name of the star is wormwood. A third of the waters turned bitter, and many people died from the waters that had become bitter. So it's a proverb about people dying and water. That's just a very ominous, um, passage. And so one one of these things that I've come across in my gematria is a lot of these things are, you know, pointing out this 8/11 date. And so do you know the actor Gilbert Gottfried?
I'll have to see his face.
That comedian that died recently. He does the voice of Affleck, the Affleck, and the fucking
Oh, him. Oh.
yeah.
Hmm.
So he did a cameo. Cameo, that thing where like you can like celebrities like just you pay them to like talk or whatever. He did a cameo video saying, "Stay off the Golden Gate Bridge on August 11th." He's like, "This is a message from HARP," which is the high altitude radio, but something I forget what it's called. It's the weather modification thing that the government does. I forget the acronym right now, but he says like, "Stay off the Golden Gate Bridge on August 11th. This is a message from HARP." He's like, "Or I'll blow your house down, or I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow." So there's all these predictive programming events pointing to this 8/11 day.
Mhm.
And one of the big ones that I came across in my decoding was um, uh, is this Golden Gate ritual. But remember when Betty White died?
Yeah, I forgot about that, to be honest.
So let me see. So Betty White died on December 31st, 2021. It was the last day of the year. Remember that? It was right before 2022. So in Gematria, the Golden Girls equals 223. right? I'm gonna link you this tweet right now. Open this tweet up real quick. I'm gonna link this to you in our DM so you can see this. You're gonna trip the fuck out. So Betty White died on 12/31/2021. She's famous for her role in The Golden Girls, which equals 223 in reverse ordinal. August 11th, that day that I talk about, is the 223rd day of the year. Now, from the day she died, December 31st, 2021 to August 11th, 2022 is 223 days. So that's like 3 different things being 223, you know what I mean? In relation to this date is 8/11. And
I forgot that she died the day before. And it was not, I was like, this ain't no coincidence either.
I know. And dude, so like the symbolism, there are so many levels to these like events, these rituals, because like, you know, it's all about the symbolism. And you have to start seeing through symbolism, you know, and you have to look at things for not just their face value, but you know, for what it symbolizes. So the Golden Gate, you know, Golden Gate Bridge, it can be seen as like, you know, your bridge to like your ascension, your bridge to like your growth, your bridge, you know. And if they're going to destroy this bridge, it's like a form of mockery, you know. It's like they're destroying the Golden Gate, you know what I mean, or something. So the same way that they destroyed the Twin Towers, you know, it was like it's all ritual. Yeah, 2 buildings fell, but you know, it symbolized like the two Freemasonic pillars like falling, like in the front of the Temple of Solomon. There's the 2 pillars, Boaz and Jachin. You know, those 2 pillars you always see in Freemasonry. So that was them like destroying those 2 pillars. You know, so the symbolism, there's always the higher symbolism you have to see in these events. So like that was, did you pull up that tweet by chance? So if you scroll down, this is the kind of synchronicities that fucking blow my mind, dude. That same day that Betty White had passed and I did that decode, do you see that license plate that I posted? I saw a license plate that says 2 AUG 322, which would be 118322. Dude, that was the same day. So Betty White was born on January 17th. So that's 117, right?
Yeah.
From her death date 12/31/2021 to 8/11/2022 is 7 months and 11 days, which is like a mirror of her birthday. She was born on January 17th. So it's like, you know, that the level of coding on these events, like it's mind-boggling. You ask, like, was she even alive? Like, I'm sure she probably was already dead. You know what I mean? They just like waited to announce it on that day or something, you know,
Yeah,
to make it like fit, just to make it fit the ritual. But let me see it. Godfrey. And then where I mentioned Gilbert Gottfried had posted so listen, I don't know if, let me pull this up on my phone. I want you to hear this. Gilbert Gottfried.
Good old Gottfried.
So can you hear that?
San Francisco, being sent by harp. The Golden Gate Bridge on August 11th, or I'll shake you down. Here I come. Shout out to Clorps.
That's
Now
crazy.
he posted that video on let me see. He posted that video on July 11th, 2019. Now that's 711. That's 711. I just remember I just mentioned that what's her name? Betty White died on 12/31 and she was born on 1/17. From 12/31 to 8/11 is 7 months and 11 days. So Gilbert Gottfried posts his video warning about 8/11 on 7/11 2019. Now, like those kinds of that's insane.
Where can wait? Hold on. Let me see. Where I want to make sure that they know. Do you have? Pull up your page really quick. You just have your Twitter, right?
I have an Instagram as well. Fill these underscore.
Okay, cool. I'll put those both at the bottom. Phil, my guy. I don't know if I asked this when the last time we talked, but I always ask this last question to my guests. What would your message be to humanity during this time?
To take a step back and question what is happening. Don't take the events that are happening for face value. Don't just accept what you're being shown. Stop and think who is it who is benefiting from me believing this? Who there you have to just realize that there's a force out there that is working against us that wants to suppress our awakening in this time. That's why they are trying actively dumb us down. That's why they want us dumbed down and unaware. They want us not looking into anything. They just want you believing your fucking entertainment. They just want you giving your energy to your next celebrity. That's all they want. And right now, as most of probably these viewers, is we should be focusing right now on our growth and our ascension. We should be we're unifying. We should be realizing that we are all one. We're all on this journey of coming to the realization that we're all of one. Like our world religions have been split. We think that we're all there's these different religions around the world, but they're all telling the same story. They're all telling the same story through a different lens, but we don't really realize it.
Yeah.
They're all the same parables, the same book, and the different books, but it's the same stories. So it's just realizing that we have to be focusing on other things besides just just playing the game. We have to be.
Facts.
There's just so much more to be doing with that time.
It's more to life. Phil, my guy, I appreciate you being on, bro.
I know. I barely even touched any number shit because there's just so much shit. It's hard to me. I wish I could actually like do a live one. Like I know the next time what I'll do is probably when I get my shit going and I'm gonna have
cool.
That's what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually give you on my episode and I'll make it more of a number based episode, I guess, because I gotta start doing shit.
Hey,
what do you record on? What do you record on? You record
I'm
on
recording on my MacBook right now. I just I got Zoom and I was doing my thing.
Okay. And then you edited on
well,
what?
I do it on iMovie because I don't do too much.
You don't cut it up, you just kind of just transfer it. And
because I never really need to, because it's just always like a straight through.
Yeah.
I have to, then I do it, but
man, dude, there's so much stuff. There's just like if people took the time to go to my like feed and kind of, and if they have questions like
I'll provide the links below, guys, as well.
Yeah, dude, like everything that we're being shown by the media is essentially being coded, and it's all orchestrated. The world is a stage, that you hear that you've heard that before, I'm sure. The world is a stage. People are characters. They have their entrances and exits. To a degree, we're all like characters on the grand stage, but they are, they're abusing this, and they're creating these characters. They're creating these people that are these like chess pieces that we give our energy to, the Elon Musks and Bill Gates and all these people. They're people that we're giving energy to that we shouldn't.
Yeah.
And people want to divide themselves over these people, and they don't want to come together. They want to just argue over the next thing, and they don't realize that they're spending their energy on dividing. They don't realize that they could just be, we have so much more in common that we should be focusing on than than what to be mad at next. People just want to be mad at something, like, and I hate, people just want to be mad at something, and just fucking
Just be happy. Just be.
dude. I have so many, like, have you been reading anything? Like, have you been like?
I've been wanting to. It's funny you asked this question actually. I've been wanting to reread Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. I've been wanting to reread that.
I just got is it Napoleon Hill? Think and Grow Rich.
Rich, and you got the OG one too. Let's go,
dude. I'm gonna run through these real quick. As a man thinketh. That's a good one. I had a bunch here. The Power of Awareness. This is Neville Goddard.
Oh, Neville Goddard, I fucking love that guy.
So this is like a collection of works. This is like a collection of like. So this is like kind of like a all-in-one type thing.
That's the OG.
And then the more esoteric stuff, there's like Manly P. Hall, The Secret Teachings of All Ages, and he just goes over like, just all things esotericism. He's going over like fuck, dude, there's every topic you can think of. It's hard to, like, you can't really pinpoint it. It's kind of like a
wait, what's the name of it?
Secret Teachings of All Ages, Manly P. Hill. It's like the table of contents has like it's got alchemy in here, like it's got theory on Kabbalah, it's got like Hermeticism, and like describes the Sephiroth. It's got like, it's just going over all these different topics that that are just, we're not taught, these things that are just, that they're so meaningful that we're just not giving our attention to.
I'm gonna check this out for sure.
And then one more real quick, the God Code.
Ooh.
So this is, have you heard of Greg Braden? This
guy with the little blonde,
gray hair, whatever.
Yeah.
But actually this dude in the back, right?
Yep.
So what he's discussing in this real quick is scientists have found, how our DNA is like a letter code. Like when you break down the DNA strand, it's like 4 letters kind of repeating, and they can be like 4 different letters, can be like rearranged different ways to create all the different genetic codes.
Mm-hmm.
So what they found was that in our DNA, there's a preface before the like letter DNA strand. There's like a preface before that, and it's essentially can be broken down into like Hebrew letters, and it's like a sentence that says God eternal within the body. And that's like in our DNA before, like our strands of DNA literally have like a message like encoded in them. And, like that itself is like, if people realize that all of our DNA says, God eternal within the body, you know what I mean? That's realizing that, like, no matter what fucking skin suit we got on, that doesn't mean shit.
That's a perfect way to end the episode. Phil, thank you.
We'll do, my thing is, there's so much stuff that I want to get off my head that, like, it's hard to fucking, especially it's hard to discuss the Gematria thing when you can't see it, because you can't, it's just word of mouth, and that's why a lot of it is, you kind of have, it's almost very personal. Some of it is you have to be able to see it and absorb it yourself,
and
like conceptualize, because It is, it can be daunting to some people, but it's so simple. It's deceptively easy. ABC 1, 2, 3. It's all, like, and it's
Oh, damn, that is true, actually.
like, ABC. It's easy. 1, 2. And like there's like a movie, it's like there's a movie called Murder by Numbers. And if you look up this movie title, Murder by Numbers, you'll get a movie poster. But it's a movie that Sandra Bullock did in the like early thousands. But in the movie poster, they substituted some letters and numbers, and they put a 3 and an 8. So in Gematria, murder equals 83. So they like encoded the 83 on the movie cover that says murder by numbers. So it's like in our face all the time, and you just have to be able to,
You gotta, it's hidden in plain sight.
like, and it's even this in your face. There's the band Slipknot has a song called Gematria.
Really? Oh, shit.
This is called Gematria, the killing name. And their bass player, Paul Gray, died at the age of 38, which
Dang.
equals murder, which, you know what I mean? And it's just like, how more upfront can they be? Like, you just have to be ready to accept it. You have to let go of the illusions. You have to step into real you have to step in like your own reality. You have to step into life, to actual life. There's, what we're being shown in the media isn't life. That's not life. That's what they want you to believe is the world. That's why when people say, "Oh, the world is a horrible place," I'm like, no, 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 no. The world is beautiful. The world is beautiful. They are, you know, warping our minds to believe that the world is a shitty place. They want you to hate your world. They want you to hate your other man. They want you to hate everything. They want you to fucking hate everything and buy their shit.
Guys, make sure that the
I'm a rambler.
message is love. No, but on a serious topic, bro. When do you go drop your podcast?
Dude, okay, so I finally have my name settled. I think I'm gonna do Old Souls podcast. I'm gonna do Old Souls because, man, you'll realize as you kind of awaken that, damn, we've been here a few times.
Facts, big facts.
And you can kind of tell who the younger souls are, who are just naive to just believing everything, and like, you know what I mean? And it's like we gotta help those people. One thing I'm learning, is it's don't judge anyone for what they believe. Like, realize that we've all been deceived. We were all under the spell at one point, and we all are waking up to it at our own time and our own pace. And you just gotta fucking, as hard as it is, just fucking love people through that shit. You just gotta fucking, man, if someone's your friend and they are still believing the bullshit, you just have to kind of be with them through that, I guess. I don't know, like, I mean, in a sense, you kind of know when there's people are not worth your energy, I guess.
Oh, 1000%. Yeah, 1000%.
You just gotta, like, some people aren't ready, but you know that there's people that are, and you talk to them and they go, oh, and you know that person's like, oh, they're ready to, oh, shit.
On the same frequency. I appreciate you for everything as always, and I'll see you next week.
For sure.